All right, so we're going to look at reversal patterns, and I am going to start off with explaining a double top. Okay, I'm going to start off by explaining a double top. I want us to look at double tops today, plus double bottoms, right? It's pretty much almost the same concept. Then after that, if we still have a little bit of time, we can look at head and shoulders patterns and the reverse head and shoulders patterns. Okay, so if you are on the session yesterday, there's some things that we learned that are going to be helpful to put this 1 and 2 together. So when we are talking about a double top, okay, this is when the market has been going up in an uptrend. Okay, the market is pushing up in an uptrend, creating higher highs. Okay, market is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Market is creating higher highs and higher lows. And what we tend to see, at one point, the market makes a high, okay? And in this scenario here, this is an uptrend. For those who do not know how an uptrend probably looks like, we have got that higher high. Okay, so an uptrend has our higher highs and it has our higher lows. So higher highs and higher lows. This is how an uptrend looks like. So if you do not understand the market structure, this is definitely going to give you a headache. But if you understand market structure, you should be in a good place, like, to understand what's going on here. Okay, so the market is creating higher highs and higher lows, but at one point, right, this market pushes back down and creates what we call an equal low, right? So this low right here maintains, right, this same level. And again, always remember, because there's people who probably be thinking they have to be equal. No, it's going to be in the same zone. That's what you have to be thinking about. It's going to be in the same zone. It doesn't mean that they have to be exactly the same. You probably see a wick or something like that, but they are going to be in the same zone. All right, and this is what we are now referring to here as an equal low. Okay, the moment you see that equal low, you obviously know, right, that there's something that is happening outside of the normal uptrend. At this point, when the market is going up, you want to be in a buy position, right? You're searching for buy positions, and this is where you are buying. You're buying in these areas right here. Okay, you buy at the higher lows, but the moment you see an equal low, what do? You stop buying. Why? Because this right here has broken the structure of an uptrend, and clearly there is something else that is not an uptrend that is happening. Okay, so what do? You wait. Now there's a time for you to be patient and see exactly what's going to come up next. Okay, so you be patient, right? And this market can go either way. In this area right now, it can go either down or it can go up. It's an equal low. We don't know what's going to happen. But if this market, by any chance, right, if it decides to push back up here, right, and creates for us a high position that is equal to this previous high. So this was a higher high here. Okay, this was a higher high. But now this high is now equal to this high. It has created an equal high, which means that it did not break the structure, right? It never broke the structure. So there's something that we are always looking for when we are trading. That is the BOS. This is going to be the break of structure. All right. If we do not see a break of structure, and this market decides to now start pushing down, okay, decides to come back down, okay, at this point right here, we have established an equal high. Let me just equal high, and that's giving us our double top. Okay, the moment it creates the equal high, it gives us the double top right there. So now we have these two areas. This right here is a reversal pattern. The moment you see this, it's indicating for us that there's a potential that this market is likely to now start pushing down. Now, the mistake that most people will make, right? The mistake many people are going to make is trying to enter trades at this level right here, because now they believe that this market is about to keep dropping, right? But that's not what you do. You have to wait for this market again, right? This right here, our yellow zone, this is a structure, right? This is what we refer to as the neckline, right? This is the neckline in this market. This is the neckline. And obviously, as you can see, right, based on what we have here, the neckline is appearing at a support zone. This is a support zone, clearly, right? So yesterday we went through support and resistance, and this would be a support zone. And that's where you have the neckline. Before you can take this trade, and say, okay, I'm looking at a sell position, what you want to see, right? What you want to see is the market breaking this zone, right? You want to see this market break this zone, give you a retest to this neckline, right? You want to see the market retest the neckline. You don't want it to go above the neckline. You want it to maintain below the neckline. Now, this would be your entry area for a sell position. Okay, this is going to be your entry position, entry for a sell position. Okay, so now the market has changed. It has changed direction. It's no longer moving in an uptrend. Now we will be expecting the market to make downtrend moves, right? Lower lows and lower highs. Because now this right here is a lower low. Oh, sorry. Right, that's going to be a lower low. And this is obviously a lower high compared to this. And this would be our double top. Okay, I'm just going to go through the next one real quick, and then we can go to charts maybe after that. Remember, the break of structure, this right here, is very important. If this market does not break the structure and then decides to push back up here, because the one thing that you should know all the time is, yes, we have seen patterns happening in the market, and yes, they do repeat themselves a lot, but the market has a mind of its own, and it does not have to do what you want. So even if I'm expecting for this to happen, there's always the likelihood that this market may, okay, it may decide to get here and then come back up. So that's why you wait for the break of structure, right? The retest, and now you can get in for the sell. And if this decides to happen right here, and we do have what we call the triple top, right? That could also be a thing right there, right? But you won't see this market break, retest, then you enter for your sell position, right? So I'm just gonna go them real quick, and then at least hopefully by the end of this you learn something, right? So the next thing I'm going to look at, 821, is a double bottom, right? So this is just the reverse of what we just looked at. It's just the reverse of what we looked at. I'm trying to rush because I'm kind of excited to look at US30. For anyone who's been on the last session, you know why. I'm like, I want to get to it, right? So a double bottom is going to be the opposite of a double top, right? The market is creating lower lows, right? And lower highs. So the market is moving in a downtrend, creating lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Lower lows and lower highs. Then at one point, right, we see that lower low right there. And rather than the market creating another lower high, comes back and creates an equal high at this zone right here. Okay. So just in case, let me just label this for us. We have our lower lows. We have our lower highs, right? Which means that the market is moving in a downtrend, okay? The market is moving in a downtrend, creating lower lows and lower highs. And you only sell, right? You want to get into a sell position. See, I'm not a huge advocate of trading against the trend. That's why I'll be like, when the market is in a downtrend, just sell. Stick to that. If you're going to increase your chances of actually winning when you are trading, you must have like a system that you know is going to work for you. I do not believe in counter trend trading. I have seen it not work, right? Because you don't really know how far it's gonna go and all that. So you want to like maintain that culture of sticking with the trend, because the trend is your friend, okay? The trend is your friend. You want to stick with the trend. So you want to sell at these areas right here. These are your entry positions for a sell, okay? And you'll make your money going down, all right? But the moment we get an equal high, right? If you get an equal high, that right there has violated the structure of a downtrend. It has violated the structure of a downtrend. So you need to stop taking sell positions and just be patient, right? So we have our zone right here, which, as I explained, this is important for us because this is the neckline, okay? This is the neckline right here. So at this point, now you are just patient. Patience is the name of the game right now, right? And if this market comes back, gives you an equal low right here, right? You wait for this market to do its thing. You are not in a rush. Okay, now this is what we have as our double bottom right here. Okay, so we are going to get our equal low. And once again, I'm going to emphasize they don't have to be in the same exact places, but you will be able to see it. Right, you will be able to see it. That gives us our double bottom right there. When the market gets here, this is our neckline. And at the neckline, you are still not getting into the market until you see the break of structure, right? Until you see the break of structure, this structure right here, right? You want to see a break of structure. Then you want to see a retest to the same zone, right? And then you can go ahead and buy from there, right? That's what you want to see. This is going to be your entry for the buy position. Right there. I don't know if anyone has any questions. This is very easy. This is a concept we probably all are familiar with. So right now you realize that we have a higher high right here. Right, we have a higher high right there. Then we have a higher low. Okay, that goes ahead tell you like, okay, you can take that buy position moving forward. This is a very like common trading pattern. These are reversal patterns. Should be very easy for most of us to identify them in the market. We can try looking at the charts, see if we can see anything in the charts that resembles that. I do know on the daily time frame I had seen. Let's see. Now here we go. Okay, so this is Euro USD on the daily time frame. Okay, here we are. So you can see this right here, right? They're not in the same exact place. Right, but this is clearly like the market came here, gave us a double top. You can see this did not break the structure here, right? So we have an established, this is on the daily time frame. Okay, this is a daily time frame right there. Okay, so market dropped into this zone, okay, and you can see it did not break this structure, came back up here, did not give us a higher high. So clearly the market is no longer in an uptrend. You wait for this move, then there's actually two areas where you could have taken this entry, right? Because if you look on this side, you could maybe move this up here. Okay, so we have this point, this point, this point there, right there, touches, right? Support and resistance zones, like you can see that. So you could have waited for this right here. And there's also another area of interest here. Like this could have also been something that you're waiting for as well. Okay, so this retest, you wait for that retest, you could have taken that sell right there. Again, market came down to this level, broke the structure, made a retest, and started pushing back down. Okay, so you are able to identify double tops in that kind of fashion, right? And you have your entry positions. And mind you, this is on the daily time frame, which means however many pips you're getting here, this move, this is a really, really big move for you to capitalize on. Okay, a big move to capitalize on. So if you are able to see that, then you can definitely like take advantage. Okay, so let's look at this area as well right here. This is definitely not the most clear area, but we can obviously like zoom it in and you will see it once we look at it right there. Okay, So our market here, right? I just want you to be able to see this. So our market is creating higher highs and higher lows. Gets here, you can see this pattern, right? Market just creates equal highs here, right? So if you look at this area, we have this massive wick, but it's still in the same zone, right? And then bam, right? It drops down here. And I want you to see now, you already have this zone, okay, that was created here. And the market retested the same zone, right? That's the neckline right there, okay? Market retested. So we have a clear retest to that neckline before the market continued all the way for that drop. Okay, so it becomes, the more you see the market, the easier it becomes to identify these areas. Okay, you can see that was a beautiful drop all the way. Okay, a beautiful drop all the way. That you'll be searching for such areas, right, and taking advantage of the market, those reversal patterns. Let's see if we can. Oh, here's another one right here. There's this right here. This is just beautiful, right? Look at this. I hope everybody can see this one, because this is like an obvious one, like so obvious right here. And I'm going to show you something else that probably will save you like down in the future. So you can see market plays here, but there goes our double top, right? And then the market breaks the structure, right? It does a retest here. Now, this zone, I'm going to mark up two areas here for us, because I want you to see how you can take advantage of this multiple times. So there's this zone right here. And then there's this obvious highs here, right? Where the market just kind of came back to right here. This is where the market retested and then kept dropping. But I want you to identify this, right? The market tries to come back to the same areas. See that? Market tries to come back to the same areas down the line, okay? Down the line. And you can see, if you had known that this is an area where the market loves to sell, you could have caught as a third move, right? This could have been your first sell position, your second sell position, and a third sell position right there, right? Because the market will keep repeating itself, right? The market will keep repeating itself as it moves along, right? So this area is also kind of the same right here, right? Market is, I was trying to tell someone, like, you will see the same thing happening multiple times. You can identify the patterns and areas of interest in the market, then you should do really well identifying those areas, right? So double tops, I'm trying to look at double bottoms, but I'm not really seeing any. If this would maybe open up for us, we could maybe identify something there, but I'm not seeing it. Let's look at USD JPY. Maybe we could see a double bottom in USD JPY. This is not really a double bottom. It looks like more so like a triple bottom for us. We did not really talk about triple bottom, so I'm not really gonna put that out there, but it's pretty much the same thing, right? The same kind of it's the same kind of theory, but you can clearly see up here, right? You have this, okay. You have that for sure. That's the break right here, but where is the structure? The structure is right here. So you would be identifying your zones, right, from this market. And you're going to realize I personally use the line chart a lot. It makes it easy for me, right? So we have that, and we also have this other area here. I do use the line chart a lot, especially when I'm marking up my charts. Okay. So we have those two areas that I could have personally identified, right? And you can see this market tried to come back here. So yes, you have a nice move right there, right? All you have to do is to make sure you're identifying your zones. Obviously, if you were to drop down to a 1 hour chart, you will be seeing the same patterns unfold. On the 15 minutes chart, you're going to see the same patterns unfolding, right? I don't know if there's anyone who has any question. I don't know if there's anyone who has any question on double tops. We haven't seen an example of a double bottom, unfortunately for us. Maybe Euro card or USD card. Let me check Euro card. I obviously don't like pay attention to all like the pairs, but I know some of them how they kind of move. Okay. Not seeing much there, but maybe that no. So if you have any question on that, you can go ahead and ask as I look at the USD card. Not really the best example. I'm not really going to use that, okay? But at least now you have an idea of what to expect or what you would be looking at for double bottoms and double tops, okay? Always remember the key thing here, break of structure. The break of structure, very important. Then you get the retest before you decide to take your entry. Just because you see the market making a double top doesn't always make that a double top reversal pattern, okay? Sometimes the market is going to do that and then consolidates in the same area, okay? That's why you have to be very careful, right? You wait for the break of structure, the retest, then you sell, right? Break of structure, retest, then you sell, okay? There's no one with any question. I'm just going to go ahead and look at the sum of the charts we looked at. Oh, pretty much look at US30, it's 838. We looked at it yesterday. We obviously had a trade going in, right? We obviously had a trade going in. I'm still waiting. I don't know the chart that we used is going to be up on here, or was it on the other side? All right, it's on the other side. Okay, I have done just a slight modification to my charts, to my candles on this chart right here. Just in case someone is wondering what's going on with it. So, okay, it's hanging. But yesterday, we were looking at this US30. We called for that sell position. We said the market will sell to these levels down here. We are going to look at pivots for the sake of explaining this as we go into it. Okay, so we were looking. I know my candles look weird. I'm not really able to change them at the moment. Let me just go back to this other side. But we were expecting a sell last night, then the market to pull back up, and I'm going to pull pivots so that we see if the market behaved the way we were expecting it to. Anyone who took the trade, obviously, we saw the market sell for us, make that pullback as expected, but we still are waiting to see the market sell. I'm able to come back to this chart we have this level right here at 35,200 as an area of interest, and 3,500 as 35,000, sorry, 35,000 as our ultimate TP for the sell. Okay, so we are waiting for the market to sell all the way to 35,000. And if you remember what we were looking at, we did an analysis on it, right? We did, we placed our fib, right? For anyone who doesn't, anyone who wasn't here rather, but we learned how to use the Fibonacci. So I'll just do it like this. Let me just explain it, right? When you are using your fib tool, okay, when you're using Fibonacci and you are buying, right, if the market is going up, I'm going to use my line chart to draw it here. You want to obviously click on your fib tool, fib retracement tool, come down here, right? And you can see this, place at the bottom of, right now, because the market is going up, you're gonna place it there and then drag it all the way to the highest point, okay? Drag it to the highest point right there. And you have that. That's how you place your Fibonacci tool when the market is going up, all right? Now, based on this, we were able to identify some areas for ourselves, right? I was explaining this, I love the 50% area. It's always like a place where I'm excited to see the market come to. And because I want to buy when the market gets here, I'm going to place it as green, okay? Again, that's a personal preference. So we have that zone right there. And we also had this zone here at the 38.2 area. I'm going to mark it up. I know the market is going to be reacting in this place. Probably see a reaction here, but ultimately, and we are going to go to pivots just to prove our theory, right? Ultimately, we are waiting for the market to sell to 35,000, right? For anyone who wasn't here yesterday, we said we want to see, and we can already see the initial move from yesterday, okay? But we still want to see this market drop down for us before it gives us that move right there from 35,000. Okay, I'm still waiting for that. Once we tomorrow, when we get some time to go over the head and shoulders pattern, we'll probably see it forming here, right? This might end up forming a head and shoulders pattern. Who knows? We can't predict the future, but we can actually maybe come to this conclusion right here. Let me go to pivots because I don't want us to like think we are getting these numbers out of the air, right? So starting on the daily time frame, exactly. So it came here, touched our R8. Let me just change this real quick. So the market clearly came and touched R8 as we were expecting it to, and then dropped down, right? So on the daily time frame, we can clearly see the market at R8. What happens if the market is below R8? You want it to sell. So we already know it's going to sell. On the daily time frame, one of the TP areas, R6, which would be the area that you are targeting, is 35,156. Okay, 35,156, and I explained, it's not uncommon to see a week happening, and that's why I'm saying 35,000 is a good place to just watch the market drop down to that area. Okay, so 35,156 is one of the target areas we're looking at. If we drop down to 4 hours, okay, we are below P4, and that just continues to encourage our theory, okay? continues to encourage our theory that this market is obviously going to drop, right? Because we want to see it come to S2. Okay, let me just make this bigger for us so that everybody can see the arrow right there. Oh, not that. Okay, so we do want to see this drop happening to 35,156. Okay, and if it comes all the way to 35,000, I will not be surprised. You can see some reaction here in the past. This is clearly a zone. Okay, this is clearly a zone right here that we are not going to pretend does not exist. It is there. Is that zone right there? Okay, probably extend it all the way to right there. Okay, so you can see the market reacts here, reacts there, this week, right there. You can also see this candle week right there. So yes, this market might drop to that area. And this is on the 4 hours. When we keep dropping down, 35,156 is now at P4. One of the many reasons why I love pivots. So we already know 35,156 is where we are targeting. But what do we also know? When the market gets to P4, what happens, right? When the market gets to P4, what happens? It always gives you a push back up. Okay, always gives you that push back up. So that is not a surprise for us, because P4 at P just stands for pivot. Market loves to revert at that area. Okay, so we're expecting that 35,156 though is our target area with the US target. I'm just going through it. We already went through it yesterday. Well, at least if you are trading it, it should be in a good place for sure to take that, maybe sell over there. Okay, so in the 15 minutes, I'm probably going to wait to see a slight pullback to 35,839. Okay, I'll wait to see this market push up a little bit here, then I'll take it for the sell again. Ultimately, I'm in a sell starting from yesterday. The market pulls back up here, I'll probably take the trade again and then drop down all the way with it. Okay, but that's US 30. Today, I'm a little bit excited about silver. Is there any question when it comes to US 30? No? All right. I'm a little bit excited about silver today. So I'll show you how silver is moving. And I know we took a trade on this, I think on Monday. Yeah, we took a trade on this on Monday. But I still like this trade. I still like this trade a lot. And I know I have 1,001 lines in here. So this is forex.com. You can probably can look at it with wonder. My charts always have lines. I haven't used these lines in a minute, so I can take them out. But this is on the daily time frame. I just want us to analyze this, and maybe someone will catch a good trade with it, right? Again, this gives us an opportunity to see. We have seen how to use the fib tool when you are going up. When the market is pushing up, you lay your fib tool, you drag going up, okay? Now, this market is pushing down, so you do the opposite, right? You come up here, you identify your high area, and then you drag your fib tool down like that. Okay. Now, obviously, I am expecting this market to push up, right? I'm just going to mark up my areas here. because I'm expecting some kind of a reaction to the downside. I'm going to do that. Okay. I'm also going to keep this in mind. Okay. And I'll take out my Fibonacci. Right. So I am expecting the market to push up. This is on the 1 hour. So this is going to be more of a long-term trade because silver moves very slowly, right? It moves very slowly. It has like no rush at all. Then I'm also going to, I'm going to draw a trend line here because this market is clearly pushing down. And you're going to see where I'm going with this, right? So this market, you can see that right there. Now, this is what I'm expecting with this market. We can even adjust it for those areas right there, okay? Seeing a question in the chat, gold is doing the same thing. I'll probably have to look at gold after this. But this is what I probably want to see with silver, right? Again, this is probably going to be like a long-term trade because of how silver is moving, okay? So assuming we get some kind of a reaction here, but I do want to see this market come to this level, maybe give us a pullback, okay? If it breaks up and comes here, then I want to see it come back to this zone. And I probably want to see it come back here, right? Either retest this same area or something. But that's, for now, I am basing my trade in that sense. I want to see some kind of a buy position. This is probably going to move as slow as possible. Knowing how silver is, this is probably not going to be in any kind of a rush, right? Today is Wednesday. We have tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to see this move play out, right? But I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, right? So if there's anyone who's trading silver, then this would be a good setup to look out for, okay? Now, I always say, yes, we've made our own analysis here. We've seen what's going on. Again, I'm also basing my theory on this, right? This market has just created a higher high, a higher low, okay? This market has also created a higher low right here. So this was a nice downtrend, and maybe this downtrend is done. So this market might be pushing up, okay? If you go to FinViz, where we always coming in to look at our market and how it's behaving, where is silver? Silver is right here. It's dark green, I believe, dark reddish. It's gray at the moment. It's gray at the moment, which means it's just staying in the same place, right? So remember, this is a good place to come and see how the market might play out. We proved this, that it works on Monday by predicting the price of oil. We called the buy on oil without even analyzing the chart by looking at this. And when we analyzed the chart, we saw the market was buying. So I would advocate for everyone to at least pay attention to this at one point or another, right? Pay attention to this one point or another. It should be beneficial, right? Should be. I'll go back to the chart. So this is a higher low, which probably means that this market may push higher, right? It may push higher than this 50%. I will not be surprised. This is probably a 78.2 when this market made this retracement, right? So on the 4 hours or on the daily, right, this is a perfect retracement right here. So if I was to again This is probably 78.2. So if I pull this up here, 78.6 rather, there you go. So you can see this market drop down to this level. We might see this market buy higher than this, right? Higher than you're probably expecting it. So I'll probably maybe have, I'll trail my stop loss. I think the best thing here to do is to trail the stop loss. But I want to see the price of silver go up over the next couple of days, right? Based on what we are seeing here. This is a higher low. And if it maintains this level and doesn't break lower than that, then I think we should be seeing a good buy in this market, okay? Just looking at what's happening here. And we can do a little bit more analysis on the daily chart, just so that we see if our theory is gonna hold any water. We are going to go to pivots, right? And then look at the same thing. But in the meantime, let me bring up my line chart. Now we have our horizontal line right there. So we are seeing what the market is doing, right? This is a nice zone right here, okay? So if at all anything, every time the market has come here, it's bounced back up. So we have a couple of touches. This did not come all the way, but we see the buy. It's still in the zone. Still, we see the buy there. This right here broke out, but came back above. This is a really nice head and shoulders pattern right here, right? Then the market bought. And I'm looking at this thinking we should see a push up. This is on the daily time frame, okay? You could mark up your zones if you want to do your support and resistance areas, right? That I like to trade knowing where my zones are, because I don't go wrong with it, right? They haven't treated me badly at any one point. The wicks also, they're creating some kind of area down here. Okay, so that's on the daily time frame. When we go to pivots, we're going to look at silver, because I want us to see where silver is. I'll just come back to pivots just to make sure like I'm seeing the zones, because now you will know. When you look at pivots, you are going to know, and you'll be like, okay, now that's what's happening. Let's see. So on the daily time frame, here we go. We're just above P4, okay? We're just above P4 right here. So this market is going to retest P4 one more time. If it's going to retest P4, that's 2236. Then we should see a nice push up from here. So 2236, then a nice push up, maybe to R6. Okay, maybe R6 right there, 2241, and then if it decides to go up to R8. So 2236, this is on the, what is it saying, 15 minutes over there? Let me see. My laptop is acting up, right? Send 15 minutes over here. I do not like that much. So daily. So I guess that's what it is, but it's in 15 minutes. Let me look at the 4 hours. Okay. Yeah, makes some kind of sense, because we might see the market drop to S0, right? Market may drop to S0. That's 2180. Let's call it 2188, right there, or 86, 2186, and then the market to push up from there. So 2186. We come here on the 1 hour. Okay, so yeah, 2186, then the market to push up, which is not that far. Oh, it's all the way down here on this next level on the 1 hour. So I will not be surprised, right? But I ultimately want to see a buy from this zone, okay? I want to see a buy from that zone. Then probably we'll see a reaction at P4, then the market to keep going. They keep saying 21, so it's 22 here. Okay, on the 1 hour, we are above P4. The chances of us going below P4 are very slim. So 22, 26. I would actually be comfortable with 22, 36 than 21, because this is where P4 is on the 1 hour, right? P4, that's where the market reverses, and if this is anything to go by, right, the history right here, market is coming to P4 and bouncing up a couple of times. So 1, 2, this went all the way to S2, S3 right here, still in the range, right? P4, another P4 here, and the market kept bouncing up. So if at all anything, I'll go with P4 area at 22.26 for a buy on silver, okay? So 22.26, if we come to 30 minutes, 22.26 is at S0. So we want to see this, then we want to see a buy from 22.26. Okay. So we want to see a drop to 22.26, then a buy from there. You can see the stochastic is obviously pushing down. By the time it becomes completely oversold, yes, we should probably be at S0. Okay. And on the 15 minutes, this allows you to catch a little bit of pips pushing down. Don't bet against it though. My chart is hanging. But yeah, that's what I want to see with silver. I'm excited for it because I know it's going to be a nice long-term buy the moment it starts pushing up. Okay, so watch out for that. Is there anyone with a question or a chart they would like us to go through? I know we had gone through Euro JPY yesterday or the day before. Let me put it up just so that you see it and how it did. It broke out of the consolidation zone. So anyone who was here yesterday, right? So you know about Euro JPY. My internet is just slow right now. But so Euro JPY. So my internet is acting up real bad. Let me see. But if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask. Let's try to fix this. Okay, but here we are. Euro JPY broke out of the consolidation. I was using the other chart yesterday, this one, exactly. So this is the chart I was using yesterday. And what did we say? The market could either break above or below. This is on the 1 hour. This was some good money up here, right? For anyone who caught this move. Now, what I'm personally waiting for is I want to see a retest to this same zone. Okay, remember, a break and a retest is what we want to see, right? I want to see a retest here, then maybe a push up again. Okay, if the market does not go back to the consolidation zone, I'd like to see a push up, right? But at least we see, for anyone who was in yesterday's session, you can clearly see that the market broke out of the consolidation zone. We had marked up our areas. If you're using a smaller time frame, like 15 minutes, you'd have seen a nice buy trade here. Don't mind my colors, they're a little bit off. That's why I'm using this as a chart today. So Let's just mark up our consolidation zone here so that I show you. You could have caught that move. What's going on now? Could have caught that buy if you paid attention. Right? If you paid attention, you could have caught that buy. So it's neutral. We do a yellow. Okay. That right there. If you drop down to 15 minutes, could have clearly caught this buy. Only if you paid attention, right? Market broke, and we can see it's like, you know, reaction in this area. And remember, nothing happens out of the ordinary. There's nothing that happens out of the ordinary. This reaction obviously happened because there's this area right here. Okay, there's nothing that happens that you cannot see on the left. So you see there's a reaction here. Market came there, reacted there, and you could, if you were paying attention, you could have been able to catch at least that move right there. So right now, right, I'll not be surprised seeing this move push all the way back down, right? The consolidation zone right here drop. So I'm actually, you know, going to take a small sell on Euro JPY, right? See a push down here, and then if it rejects above this area, I'm going to catch that buy from here. But for now, I think it's going to give us a drop. That's a 13 pip stop loss, and that will be 47 pip TP with a risk to reward ratio of 3.5, right? So it's not that bad. I'll be trying to catch this move, right? And then obviously on US 30 is the same thing we talked about. You just have to keep an eye on it. I'll probably not be sending it out, but at least you know what to watch out for, right? So yes, it's already started to push down here. So that's what I'm waiting for to see happening. With silver, you know, we already have like our trades analyzed. Like you just have to pay attention to what's going on and catch your trades, right? Catch your trades. I'll be waiting for US 30. Once it's ready to sell, I'm obviously going to jump in when it's ready. Anyone with any question? This is US 30 right here. I know it's going to drop. It's in a nice place. This is a weird looking candle. Right, it's in a nice place over here, setting itself up for a sell. So I'm keeping an eye on it. When we come back, hopefully tomorrow, we'll see. I'll have my stop loss above this area right there. But don't forget, we have a long-term trade with the US 30, right? We have a long-term trade with the US 30 for a long-term sell, right? We have a long-term sell projected for US 30 all the way to 35,000. Any questions? All right. If there's no questions, rather, anyway, I'm hoping that you guys are learning, you know, understanding something, that this is helpful, right? I know I'm throwing the Fibonacci out there a lot. We'll probably have one day, maybe next week on a Monday, I can definitely like go ahead and do a complete training on Fibonacci, and then everybody can be on the same page with the use of it, right? It's one of those tools that you want to know how to use. I like it. Obviously, you're going to realize people will use it like some different numbers here, but we can go in through it and then move from there.